Hello everyone, my name is Aya and today I'm going to talk about the spread of misinformation on Facebook and why current solutions are not enough and how artificial intelligence is shaping what we see on social media and why that's becoming a serious problem for democracy. Platforms like Facebook use AI algorithms to decide what content we see. These systems are designed to maximize engagement, such as likes, shares, and the clicks, but not necessarily accuracy. During the 2016 US election, misinformation spread widely on social media and influenced public opinion in ways that raised concern about election integrity and public trust. My policy focuses on how we can regulate these AI systems without violating free speech. As we all know, Facebook has billions of users, which makes it one of the most powerful tools for sharing information. Because content spreads instantly, it plays a major role in shaping public opinion. This becomes especially important during elections where access to accurate information is critical. The issue is not just that false information exists online. That's always been the case. The bigger problem is that Facebook's algorithm actually amplifies it. The system is designed to show people content that gets a lot of engagement. And the reality is that misleading or emotional content often gets more engagement than accurate information. Regulating this issue is complicated. Legally, the First Amendment limits how much the government can control speech. So we can't just ban misinformation outright. But at the same time, the government still has a responsibility to protect fair election and democratic processes. From the ethical side, this creates a tension. On one hand, we want free expression. On the other, misinformation can harm voters and especially vulnerable populations. There is also a transparency issue. These AI systems operate like black boxes, meaning we don't fully understand how they make decisions. There are three main reasons why this happens. First, Facebook is a private organization and the main goal is to make profit. This can happen from engagement, so their systems are designed to maximize interaction. Second, people tend to believe information that aligns with their political and existing views. And third, there has been limited regulation or oversight of these systems. This problem became very clear during the 2016 election. Studies found that fake news stories were shared more widely than real news. This allowed misinformation to influence voters and reduce trust in election process. Facebook has tried to fix the issue, but these efforts are inconsistent and do not address the root problem. And since the platforms shape political information, they act like a public space, so more level of regulation is necessary. On this slide, I'm introducing the core of my policy solution. Instead of focusing on removing content or restricting speech, this policy focuses on how information is spread, not what is said. There are four key parts to this approach: transparency, labeling, audits, and government oversight. The first policy solution is transparency. Right now, we don't really know how Facebook decides what shows up on our feed. The system is unclear, so it's hard to understand why some posts go viral while others don't. This policy would require Facebook to explain how its news feed works, especially what factors boost content. The goal is not to reveal their actual code or trade secrets, but to give enough information so researchers and regulators can understand whether the system is promoting misleading content. This is especially important for political and civic content because it can influence how people think and vote. So, transparency helps us understand how information is being prioritized and whether the system is working fairly. The second solution is standardized misinformation labeling. Instead of removing posts, we focus on helping people understand what they are seeing. First, if a post is spreading really fast and might be misleading, it should have a warning label. This lets people know right away that the information might not be true. Second, there should be a short explanation, not just saying this is false, but to briefly explaining why, like if it's missing context or not supported by facts. Third, there should be links or trusted sources so people can check the real information for themselves. Also, once something is labeled, it should be shown to fewer people so it doesn't keep spreading as much. So the goal is simple. We are not silencing people, we're just giving users better information and slowing down the spread of misleading content. Third solution is independent audits, which would evaluate how Facebook's systems actually perform. Basically, this means outside experts like researchers or organizations should regularly check how Facebook's system is actually working. First, they would measure how much misinformation is spreading on the platform. Second, they would look at the algorithm's role, meaning how much Facebook's system is helping push that misinformation to more people. Third, all of this should be shared publicly so people can see what's really happening instead of relying only on what the company says. The main idea is that we should not just trust Facebook to evaluate itself. We need independent groups to hold it accountable and make sure the system is working fairly. The fourth solution is government oversight. This means government agency like the Federal Trade Commission would make sure Facebook actually follows these rules. First, the FTC would check reports and monitor the platforms to see if it's being transparent and handling misinformation properly. Second, if Facebook does not follow the rules, the government can give penalties like fines or limits on how their algorithms or ads can be used. And third, this would be ongoing, not a just one time check, so there is a constant accountability. The main idea is that companies should not just regulate themselves, we need an outside authority to make sure the rules are actually followed. On this slide, I'm explaining how this policy still respects free speech. The First Amendment protects people's right to say what they want, so the government can't just remove content or control opinions. This policy doesn't do that. It does not tell people what they can or can't say. Instead, it focuses on how content is spread. If something is misleaded, it's not deleted, it's corrected, and it's just shown to fewer people and given more context. So people still have access to the content, but it doesn't spread as easily or cause as much harm. By doing this, we are protecting free speech while also making sure false information does not get amplified. On this slide, I'm explaining what this policy is expected to achieve in real life. First, it should lead to less spread of misinformation. When misleading content is clearly labeled and shown to fewer people, it won't go viral as easily. That means fewer people will see or believe false information in the first place. Second, it should help build more public trust. Right now, people don't really know what they are seeing certain posts. By making algorithms more transparent and adding clear labels, users can better understand where information is coming from and whether it's reliable. That makes a platform feel more trustworthy. Third, it should push companies to create more responsible algorithms. If platforms know they are being monitored, audited, and potentially penalized, they have a stronger incentive to design systems that do not prioritize misleading content just for engagement. Over time, this creates a better information environment, one where accurate content is easier to find and misleading content is less influential. So the goal is to reduce the harm caused by misinformation while still allowing people to freely express their ideas. In conclusion, AI driven misinformation is a serious threat to democratic processes and public trust. Current self current self-regulation has not been enough. Stronger transparency, accountability, and oversight are necessary to ensure platform supports rather than undermine democracy. Ultimately, regulating how information is amplified is just as important as protecting what is said. Thank you.